absolute madness over the past 24 hours in Texas. First and foremost, we got two different things that are going on. I'm going to try to keep the graphic content to an absolute minimum. You can find the links to all the videos in the description, but just for posterity's sake, and mostly because I don't want to see somebody's severed leg again or somebody's brain spilled out all over the ground. Yeah, I had to see it. If you want to, you can find it. I don't recommend it. It's pretty morose for a Sunday, but this is the stuff that's going on, so I best, inform everybody that's out there. So, a Texas mall shooting suspect accused of killing 8, identified as Mauricio Garcia. Yeah, and the thing about him is... gang member? Yeah, exactly. The gunman who killed 8 people and injured 7 others, so 15 casualties in total, 16 if you add this hunk of shit, before being shot dead by police at a Texas outlet mall, has been identified as Mauricio Garcia, 33. Several news outlets reported Sunday a Dallas home linked to Garcia's parents was searched by police Saturday night following the massacre outside the Allen Premium Outlets, and officials also probed a motel where the suspected shooter had booked an extensive stay, an extended stay. Interesting. Law enforcement sources told the local outlet WFAA-TV. Garcia did not have a serious criminal history and was working as a security guard, where, though it is unclear where, CBS reported. Officials are also investigating any possible ties between the suspect and radical beliefs that he was found wearing a patch on his chest that suggested white supremacist or neo-Nazi leanings. Hilarious. What's his name? Oh, Mauricio Garcia. Yeah. From Texas, you don't say. Oh, he has gang ties. No. He's a Nazi. Are you serious? If they don't fit your demographic, now you're going to start to go to white supremacy and neo-Nazi. Hilarious, because you just recently burned your gun control card. Okay, you can't say, mental health, because, Jordan Neely and the subway gimmick kind of has that all tied up. So we're just going to go white supremacy from a fucking Hispanic cat. What are we doing? What the fuck are we doing? Oh, yeah, according to the Washington... the fuck out of here. The Washington... Seriously. You're citing the FBI branch in Dallas, which was leading the case with the Texas Department of Public Safety, confirmed officials were searching 2 locations related to the suspect, but did not provide any additional information. According to the Texas Online Private Security Database, Garcia was approved to work as a commissioned security guard in the state from April 2016 to April 2020. Well, it's May of 23. What's he still doing here if he was just on a work visa and had 3 previous employers before his license expired? Okay. Records show he received firearms proficiency training in 2015, okay, as well as further firearms training in 2018. DPS, which maintains these databases, automatically disqualifies applicants who have committed certain violent crimes. But okay, if he passed the background checks in 15 and 18, that whole idea that he has a limited criminal history would bear some fruit. Garcia's neighbors told WFAA that he drove a gray Charger that was always parked in front of his parents' home, but they had not seen him nor the car in the past few weeks. Aha, that's when he started to adopt the radical white supremacist views. Is that what we're going with? Yeah, and it's interesting because what's been noticed, and thanks for censoring that as well, I've seen some other unredacted pictures, and you can't see my arrow. That's weird. But his hand is cropped out of this, and that's where a lot of people notice that, ooh, he's got some funny tattoos on his hand. It kind of look like gang signs. Interesting. The gray sedan was captured at the scene of Saturday's bloodbath, where a man stepped out of the car dressed in black tactical gear, armed with an AR-15 style rifle. Oh yes, of course, one of those big scary black rifles, even though it could be a multitude of things, but AR style rifle, so you know what that means. Oh, he's a terrorist, whatever. Used to shoot dozens of rounds. Police found more weapons, including a handgun, ammunition, and the suspect and his car. The gunman shot dead outside H&M, and an officer who was patrolling the area frantically called for backup as he rushed towards the gunfire, which, yeah, this dude right here total absolute giga Chad. Hero cop made frantic call for backup before taking down the Texas mall gunman. Oh, we need to get all those guns off the street. But here is a textbook example of a good guy with a gun stopping a bad guy with a gun. No, that's false. It doesn't happen. No, slippery slope fallacy. All your fallacies, they don't play here. Fucking retards. Police officer who took down the Allen, Texas mall gunman made a panic call for backup, pleading for everybody moments before he encountered the suspect and shot him dead. As he rushed to the H&M store in Allen Premium Outlets Saturday, the hero cop tried his best to relay the chaos outside the mall, where a man in his 30s opened fire, 33-year-old gangbanger, killing 8 people and injuring 7 others, including children. Audio call from the Allen Police Department reveals. While dozens of gunshots were ringing out, the officer urged his fellow cops to get to the scene as fast as they could to help him take down the gunman, who's armed, yes, with an AR-15 style rifle. It's funny, all of a sudden, so this happened, what, last night? And this is the first time that I'm hearing about it, but also I've kind of tied up with other things. My city right now is kind of surrounded by wildfires, so if you guys don't see any, like new content or anything like that in the next week or so, I had to flee my place, so just keep that in mind, okay? So, anyways, 2 minutes after urging for backup, where he was heard saying, I've got people running, they're still shooting, the officer said during the call. I need everybody I got. The officer was successfully able to take down the shooter, telling his colleagues it got him down, according to the audio obtained by the Daily Mail. So I'd imagine he probably just had his service piece, his concealed carry, and he's like, well, guess what? Showtime. Officer, who had not been publicly identified, was initially at the mall for an unrelated call. Allen Police Chief Brian Harvey told reporters he heard gunshots, went to the gunshots, engaged a suspect, and neutralized the suspect. The man, that dude right there, he deserves everything at all in the way of commendations, because that shit's brave. Absolutely brave, 100%. Law enforcement, including FBI agents. Oh, great. How long is it going to be until it's like, well, he was kind of on our watch list and we were just sort of like paying attention. Fucking feds. Raided the suspect's home following the Saturday afternoon bloodbath. The shooter is yet to be named. Sunday. Yet to be named, but, oh no, he's a Nazi and stuff, right? But because this happened in Texas and not anywhere that's terribly liberal, you actually get a measured response from the authority figures. Imagine that. Fucking wild. Governor Greg Abbott calls for mental health funding, downplays gun control after Texas mall shooting. Yeah, exactly. That makes sense. Because, oh, okay, cool. Nobody's allowed to have guns except for the people that are going to commit crimes, like the mall shooter. Wild. And then how do all of these situations end up getting stopped? Oh, by a gun, either through the threat of force or through the active use of force. Imagine that. Governor Greg Abbott on Sunday said the long-term solution to reducing mass shootings was addressing mental health after the gunman killed 8 people at the Dallas area mall, while President Biden called on Congress to pass an assault weapons ban. Yes, exactly, because nobody's ever, been killed by a firearm. It's wild because we're going to see some other people that unfortunately were taken out in Texas because it's the fucking wild, wild west. And on Friday, it's about to go in complete overdrive. I got a video, I think that one's coming out tomorrow. It's about Title 42 ending and the fact that there's thousands of people ready, willing, and able to come across that border. Not like they haven't already been, but anyways, Abbott, a Republican who is dealing with the second mass shooting in a state in about a week and a half, downplayed the need for lawmakers to tighten gun laws during an interview on Fox News Sunday. Yeah, because what would that do? Legitimately, what would that do? People want a quick solution. A long-term solution here is to address the mental health issue. Well, okay, is he going to say the quiet part out loud? Because you know what the immediate solution to this would be? In the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, if you want to extrapolate that out for the state of Texas, they got a big problem. I alluded to it previously with Title 42 ending. It's the southern border, because you take a look at what went down here as well, and this one right here is fucking graphic. There's some raw footage, and I mean raw, like skulls away from heads type raw. Obviously, not going to show that here, but, you can find it if you want to, which I don't know why. 7 people dead, 10 people injured after motorist runs them down outside migrant shelter in Brownsville, Texas. So illegal immigrants showing up, and now, because I don't know if they have a suspect in this one, maybe we'll read a little bit further, but either somebody's pissed off about the fact that there are so many fucking migrant facilities being set up in their state. Nobody's doing anything about it. In fact, that there's the threat of more people coming across the border, and now they're out there vigilante style culling the herd. This is what you're seeing in all of these fucking instances. People taking the law into their own hands. When you defund the police, you make the police ludicrous in their presentation. You always blame them for either a lack of training, a lack of funding, or over-policing underprivileged neighborhoods, instead of telling everybody that, oh yeah, you're being told that you're being a victim day and day and day and again, and that the entire system's against you. Meanwhile, it's the system telling you that it's the system that's against you, right? You need to go out there and fight a revolution, and you have all of this fucking violence that goes on. It makes zero fucking sense if you think that these people have your best intentions in mind, but they clearly don't. They clearly don't. I don't care if these people were here illegally. Fucking Christ. I really wish that they didn't die and a bunch of other people didn't get injured as well. Not because I'm some bleeding heart liberal. Fuck no. It's because they shouldn't have fucking been there to begin with. They should have been put into fucking catapults and sent back over the Rio Grande River. Texas is for Texans. Mexico is for Mexicans. Fucking make it very, very simple. You want to get into the United States? I still got to wait until the end of the week in order to get across legally. No, because Biden doesn't give a single fuck about actual solutions. He's just worried about campaign talking points. Oh, we need to get rid of all these guns because all of these mass shootings magically happen around the time that I need to make my point about how terrible the Second Amendment is, you fucking creep. 7 people were killed Sunday and 10 others injured after a motorist allegedly plowed into them when they were waiting at a city bus stop near a migrant shelter in Brownsville, Texas, police said. A group of mostly Venezuelan men was sitting on a curb at an unmarked stop across the street from a shelter at about 8:30 a.m. when a Range Rover SUV ran a traffic light and drove through the people sitting at the stop, according to the head of the shelter. Yeah. That to me right there screams a bunch of migrants who are here illegally, somebody taking the law into their own hands. Christ almighty, weren't there fucking movie series about all this stuff? Rampant crime that's going on. The system not paying attention to it, completely distracted by other issues that are out there. And then Charles Bronson, Clint Eastwood, Batman, everybody that you can think of, all of those idealized media representations of the person that's just been pushed too far and is now out there do right by society. I'm so glad all the women that voted for the Democrat Party got exactly what they wanted. Their feelings are capitulated. Everything's going to be fine in their suburbs, but in the places where all this shit happens, it's as fucking wild as it's ever been, but you can feel good about all that stuff, all of those expanded social programs. Oh, no human is illegal. They can come across the border and be taken care of by somebody else's taxpayer dollars. Yeah, and then they can also get run the fuck over because nobody had the balls to send them back. Unfucking believable. Killings appear to have been intentional, according to valleycentral.com. You don't say. They were sitting on a curb. Somebody ran a red light and decided, nah, man, it's no more. It was sudden. Luis Herrera, a Venezuelan immigrant, told the Post, a woman drive-by told us to leave the area. We started to leave, and the second driver came up and was pointing at us, cursing, calling us things like motherfucker and other things I didn't understand. So a woman drove by first. Yep, and then had her simp behind her, and then, yeah, just he was the one who ended up committing the crime. It always happens that way. When he drove up, he stepped on the gas, Herrera said, stopping to wipe the tears from his face. Full force, he passed over me. Great. Herrera said people who died were his friends. Here illegally. Like, let's not gloss over this. Like, this is a horrific event, but at the same time, the facts don't change. Videos posted to Twitter further illuminated the death and destruction wrought by the driver. Yep. If you want to see severed limbs, go for it. If you want to see somebody's head spilled out all over the ground, be my guest. I ain't going to show you that. If you want to see more blood than a Rob Zombie horror film, be my guest. I ain't showing you that shit. All I'm telling you is that Texas is only going to get worse from here because Title 42, she's up. She is up at the strike of midnight on a Friday. May 12th, oh man, all systems go. And you're going to be getting more vigilante shit like this. And if there's any credence to the gang ties of the mall shooter in Allen, well, who's running those people across the border? It's all those cartels that are right there. They've got their tendrils into all this stuff. But chaos? Oh, chaos is great for the system because you're too worried about that stuff. Meanwhile, Biden's off hanging out with the Clintons. It's a great thing. It's a great thing. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.